Right now, I am going to share some knowledge with you that church history meticulously removed from its scriptures. It is about something Jesus shared exclusively with his inner circle, only with those who were ready. It is about the call of the monad and how you recognize and answer it. This is not ordinary knowledge. Anyone who truly understands and applies this knowledge steps out of the archon's frequency control. That constant static in your head, that inexplicable restlessness, those moments when everything seems pointless. All of it has a reason, and that reason is not what you thought until now. There is a spark burning inside you. The Gnostic texts call it the divine spark. It is a fragment of the monad itself trapped in matter, forgotten but never extinguished. This spark wants to be awakened. The monad is calling you, and you are already receiving this call. You just do not know its name yet. Today you will learn that name, and tonight before you go to sleep, you will apply 3 steps I'm about to show you. When you wake up tomorrow morning, you will be a different person. This is not a metaphor. It is a real technique that Jesus taught. In the Gospel of Thomas, there is a sentence that changes everything. Jesus said there, "Whoever finds the meaning of these words will not taste death." The church removed this text from the canon in the 4th century. It did not fit into their system because this text taught people that they did not need an intermediary. The monad speaks directly. Every elect one can hear it, but the church needed dependence, not freedom. So this knowledge vanished for over 1,600 years. In 1945, in Nag Hammadi, a small town in Egypt, 13 codices emerged from the desert sand. Among them were texts that the early church wanted to destroy at all costs: the Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of Philip, and the secret book of John. These scriptures did not just contain words, they contained instructions and practical techniques that Jesus gave to his closest disciples. These were techniques for awakening the inner spark, for communicating with the monad, and for breaking through the archonic frequency. Why is this important for you right now at this very moment? Because the monad does not call arbitrarily. It sends its call in specific cycles, and not everyone receives it with the same intensity. There are souls whom the Gnostic texts refer to as pneumatics, chosen ones, people who carry the divine spark in its full power. These people feel different their entire lives. They sense they do not belong in this world. They carry a longing within them that no earthly goal can satisfy. A longing for something they cannot name, but that feels like coming home. If you recognize this in yourself, then it is no coincidence. Then you are one of them. The secret book of John describes how the archons created this world. It was not the true God who created material reality, but the demiurge, a lesser being who considers himself the highest God. He created matter as a prison, and the archons are its guards. Their task is to keep the divine sparks at a low frequency, because an awakened spark is a spark that leaves the prison. The archons do not work with chains and walls. They work with frequency. Fear is a frequency. Doubt is a frequency. The inner voice that tells you you are not good enough, that is a frequency. And these frequencies hold you in a band that the Gnostic texts call the zone of forgetfulness. In this zone, you forget who you truly are. You forget your origin. You forget the spark. But the spark does not forget you. It sends signals, and the monad amplifies these signals in certain phases. You experience this as restlessness, as sleep disturbances, as sudden clarity in the middle of the night, as distance from people who used to be close to you, and as the feeling that your old life no longer fits. These are not disturbances. These are signs. These are the calls of the monad breaking through the archontic frequency. Jesus knew these signs. He described them to his disciples in detail. He explained when they occur, how they feel, what they mean, and he gave them tools to respond to these signs. Not with prayer, not with submission, but with technique, with a precise method that activates the divine spark and breaks through the archontic frequency. The Gospel of Philip speaks of a bridal chamber, an inner space where union with the divine takes place. This space is not a place. It is a state, a frequency state, which you can reach through a specific practice. Early Gnostics knew this practice. They performed it in small groups in secret, far from the growing power of the church. And they achieved something the church could not control: direct experience of the divine, without priests, without ritual, and without intermediaries. This was precisely why the church destroyed these teachings. Not because they were false, but because they worked. Now imagine you had access to this very knowledge, to the technique Jesus gave to his inner circle, to the method by which the early pneumatics answered the call of the monad and stepped out of archonic control. That is exactly what you are about to receive in the next few minutes. But before I show you this technique, you need to understand one thing. The archons have a defense system, and this system does not work outside of you. It works within you. Every time this system activates, it creates doubt. It creates distraction. It creates the impulse to click away from this and do something else. Maybe you are feeling exactly that right now. Maybe a voice inside you is saying, "This sounds too simple. It can't work. I'll look at it again tomorrow." That voice is not your voice. That is the archontic frequency protecting itself. Because if you apply this, it loses its control over you, and that is precisely why it wants to stop you now. The fact that you feel this resistance is not a sign of weakness. It is the strongest proof that this knowledge is real. The system does not waste energy on things that are not a threat. Your resistance shows you that you are on the right path. Now place your hand on the center of your chest, right where you sometimes feel that pressure, that tightness that comes and goes for no apparent reason. Feel the warmth beneath your palm. That faint pulsing you feel, there is not just your heartbeat. That is your spark. That is the fragment of the monad living, breathing, and waiting inside you. Do you notice it? That subtle resonance, that quiet yes deep inside you. That is your spark responding. The Pistis Sophia, one of the most profound Gnostic texts, describes 3 levels of archontic control. The first level is the level of noise. This is the constant mental static, the inner monologue that never stops. Worries, plans, memories, judgments, an endless stream that binds your attention. This noise has a function. It prevents you from hearing the silence. And in the silence, the monad speaks. The second level is the level of identification. The archons create a false identity. You believe you are your name, your profession, your history, your problems, and your fears. This identification binds the spark to matter. As long as you believe you are all of that, you cannot recognize who you truly are. The third level is the level of forgetfulness. Even if a person awakens for a moment, even if they have a flash of insight, this level ensures they forget again. It is that moment in the morning after waking up when you dream something important but cannot recall it, or a moment of deep clarity that feels like a dream hours later. That is the third level. It erases what the monad has shown you. Jesus taught a 3-stage method that breaks through exactly these 3 levels. Each stage dissolves a level of control. Together, they fully open the channel to the monad. The first stage is called the silence of the heart in the Gnostic texts. You do the following. Tonight, before you go to bed, sit upright, not in bed, but on a chair or on the floor. Your back is straight, your feet touch the floor. Close your eyes and direct your entire attention to the point in the center of your chest. Not to your heart as an organ, but to the space behind it, the space the Gnostics call the inner bridal chamber. Inhale slowly. As you inhale, imagine your breath flowing directly into this point. As you exhale, imagine a faint light emanating from this point. Not bright, not blinding, but gentle, like a candle behind frosted glass. Repeat this 7 times, exactly 7 times. The number 7 has a special significance in the Gnostic tradition. It stands for the 7 spheres, the 7 layers of archontic control that must be broken through. After the 7th breath, remain still. You do not think. You do not wait for anything. You are simply there in this point, in this stillness. Thoughts will come, that is for sure. Let them come, but do not follow them. Imagine them as clouds passing a mountain. You are the mountain. This moment of stillness, even if it is only for a few seconds, is the moment when the first level of archontic control breaks. The noise interrupts, and in this interruption, the monad can penetrate to you. The second stage is called shedding the false skin. Immediately after the stillness, while you are still in the state, mentally speak 3 sentences, not out loud but inwardly, directed at the point in your chest. The first sentence is, "I am not my name." The second sentence is, I am not my story. The third sentence is, I am the spark. Each of these sentences dissolves a layer of false identification. Gnostic teachings emphasize that words spoken with consciousness carry their own frequency. They are not mere information, they are vibration. And this vibration works at a cellular level. Your body has an electromagnetic field, and the center of this field is your heart. When you speak these sentences from the heart space, they change the frequency of this field. The false skin that the archons have placed around your spark begins to loosen. Speak each sentence slowly. Feel it spreading in your chest. Between each sentence, there is a pause of 3 breaths. No rush. The monad has been waiting for eons for this moment. A few more breaths will not make a difference. The third stage is called the seal of remembrance. This is the crucial step, the step the church wanted to hide at all costs because this stage prevents the third level of control from erasing your experience. After the 3 sentences, place your right hand on the center of your forehead and your left hand remains on your chest. 2 points connected by your arms, connected by your intention. The Gnostics called this the bridge because it connects the seed of knowledge with the seed of the spark. In this posture, you mentally speak one sentence. I remember. Just that. I remember. This sentence is the seal. It programs your consciousness to retain the experience. It prevents the level of forgetfulness from erasing what you have just opened. Hold this position for the duration of 7 breaths. Then lower your hands, open your eyes, and go straight to bed. Do not speak to anyone afterward. Do not look at your phone. No screen light, no voices, no distraction. The channel you have just opened is sensitive. The archons will try to close it again immediately. Every distraction is a tool they use. Do not give them any. What will you experience if you do this tonight? Early Gnostics documented what happens after this practice. They called it the answers of the monad. During the night, you will dream more vividly than usual. Some see a light, some hear a voice, some fly. This is the monad responding through the open channel. The next morning, you will notice an unusual clarity. Thoughts are quieter. The inner voice that usually floods you with worries immediately after waking up is silent. This is the sign that the first level of control has been broken through for a moment. In the following days, synchronicities will accumulate. Numbers will repeat. People will say things that precisely match your inner experience. The monad communicates through the structure of reality itself. Now listen carefully. The system will fight back. In the hours after this practice, the archontic frequency will try to pull you back. The old restlessness will return stronger than before. Doubts will come. You will think this did not do anything, that it was just imagination. Recognize these thoughts for what they are. This is the system trying to regain control. The stronger the resistance, the more powerful your activation was. Repeat the practice the next night for 7 nights. After 7 nights, the channel will have stabilized. Some will ask, why didn't anyone tell me this before? The answer is painful. This knowledge was systematically eradicated. The Council of Nicaea in 325 decreed what was to be considered true doctrine. Everything that taught direct access to the monad was branded as heresy. The church needed dependent believers, not free sparks, but they could not destroy everything. Texts survived in the desert sand, in forgotten monasteries, in secret circles. And now this knowledge reaches you, not by chance, but because you are ready. Now place your hand on your chest again. Feel the spark there. It is awake. It is listening to you. It is waiting for tonight. For eons, it has waited for this very moment, for precisely you. If you feel that this knowledge is meant for you, if you recognize this resonance in your chest, then write in the comments now. I remember. This is more than a comment. This is your first conscious response to the call of the monad. This knowledge must reach the people who are ready. If you know someone who feels this inner restlessness, who lies awake at night, who feels alienated in their own life, then share this video. It could be exactly the call that person is waiting for. Subscribe to this channel so the algorithm cannot bury this knowledge. Every subscription is a sign to the system that the chosen ones are awakening. And hit the thumbs up button now. Right this moment, not later. Now. Tonight, your path back to the monad begins. The spark within you has waited 1,600 years for this moment. Do not let it wait a single night longer. If this knowledge has changed the way you perceive your existence and the world around you, please subscribe to our channel. We are unearthing the history they tried so desperately to bury. Awaken your spark and help us geotrong the future. The next hidden treasure will soon reveal itself. Don't forget to like this video to carry the light forward.